This morning, Queensland police fight for greater protection in their war against bikie gangs. A gang of 6 men on the run after a violent home invasion on the Gold Coast. The fire threat eases across New South Wales. We'll have a live update from fire headquarters. And we're off and racing, everything you need to know from fashion to the forecast for tomorrow's Melbourne Cup.
This is 10 Eyewitness News with Matt Doran.
Good morning and welcome to the very first morning edition of 10 Eyewitness News. First today, Queensland Police will be fitted out with special body armour and be given permission to take their guns home after major crisis talks in Brisbane this morning. The officers have been demanding greater protection, including more firepower, as part of the state's crackdown on bikie gangs. Amber Austin-Wright joins us now live from police headquarters. And Amber, the union says this will help protect officers involved in the fight against bikies.
Matt, the police union has been lobbying for greater protective measures so officers and their families feel safer during this bikie crackdown. Now, after meeting with the Police Minister Jack Dempsey this morning, officers will be given lightweight vests similar to those in Victoria. They'll also be able to take their guns home if approved and provided they have gun safes. Now, the police union president says this is a breakthrough after his requests were dismissed by the police commissioner.
We know things are tense at the moment right across the state. Police are nervous, their families are nervous, and this is just some protection for the police. I welcome it. It's a very good decision.
And in another sign of that tension, Premier Campbell Newman has received an increasing number of threats and even online campaigns against him and his family. Now, police are looking into a YouTube video posted by an activist claiming to be linked to an international group called Anonymous. Now, the Premier's home address and his personal mobile numbers have also been posted on social media sites by those protesting against his anti-bikie laws, Matt.
Quite disturbing. All right, thanks to Amber Austin-Wright live for us there at police headquarters in Brisbane. And with the big race just 1 day away now, all eyes will be not only on the track but also on the skies over Melbourne. Joining me now for the all-important Melbourne Cup forecast is our very own meteorologist Magdalena Roze. Mags, what can racegoers expect tomorrow?
Well, Maddie, I've got some fantastic news for racegoers. So let's head straight to the synoptic chart, because with this high-pressure system, you can see that winds move in an anti-clockwise direction. So today, they're actually coming in from the southwest off the ocean. They're carrying moisture, and that's why we're seeing all the cloud and showers. But gradually, that high is moving towards the east, so you'll notice winds becoming lighter overnight. And then they actually turn more northerly, so they're carrying heat across to Victoria, and that means that temperatures are going to rise. So the good news is a beautiful day awaits you tomorrow. You're going to see a mostly sunny one with light winds. After a cold start with the potential of some fog, it's going to be a beautiful sunny one with a high of 24 degrees. So, Matt, from the plethora of suits you have to choose from, I'm thinking you should go with the lilac linen. Great with your blue eyes.
I do not own a lilac linen. That is misinformation. Thank you very much, Magdalena Roze. Well, stay with us. Still to come on 10 Eyewitness News. Tensions very high in Egypt as the ousted president faces court. The search for survivors after a ferry carrying 200 people sinks off Thailand. The premiere of a film honouring one of the world's most influential men. Plus, in sport, has Shane Watson's Ashes dream been kissed goodbye? We'll bring you the latest on his injured hamstring. Welcome back. You're with 10's Eyewitness News. The Department of Foreign Affairs is working with local authorities to determine if any Australians were involved in a deadly ferry accident in Thailand. The ferry capsized off the popular seaside town of Pattaya in eastern Thailand. At least 6 people have died. There were reportedly 200 people, though, on board the boat. Rescue efforts are continuing, with authorities worried more passengers could still be trapped inside the vessel. Well, joining me now for a look at all the sporting headlines is Scott Mackinnon. And Scott, Shane Watson is confident he is going to play in the first Ashes test.
Yeah, let's hope so. He has 17 days to get fit after injuring his hamstring in India. The Aussie all-rounder arrived home this morning and hasn't given up hope on his Ashes dream.
It would have been nice to be able to get home without having any niggles, but in the end it'll give me a week or two to be able to hopefully freshen up, go and ready to go for the first test.
Yeah, run machine George Bailey also hopes to be there in Brisbane. We'll hear from him a little later in the bulletin.
Joining us now for an update on all the weather details is our meteorologist Magdalena Roze. And Mags, we've had some pretty cool temperatures across parts of southeastern Australia.
After some hot weather, Maddie, we've had this cold front crossing. It's now in the Tasman and it's delivered some very, very cold air. In fact, you'll notice it with the speckled cloud here. That's the cold air mass that's making its way across the southeast, sending the temperatures plummeting, but also delivering some very strong winds. And they're continuing across the New South Wales coast today. At the moment across Sydney, we're seeing gusts of around 50 kilometres an hour, so there's real chill in the air. We're also seeing very isolated showers over southern Victoria and southwest Tassie, but apart from that, most parts of the country are dry, except for the west, where a trough is delivering some showers and thunderstorms to areas including Perth with a high of 32 degrees. Sunny skies for Adelaide with 24. Beautiful day for Hobart with 18 degrees. The showers across Melbourne have become extremely light and isolated, so they're definitely clearing now. Canberra, after a cold start, 19 and sunshine. As I mentioned, Sydney very cold with those winds, 17 at the moment, but feeling like 7, and dry and partly cloudy for Brisbane with 27. A detailed forecast a little bit later on, Matt.
Thanks very much, Magdalena. We'll see you then. Well, stay with us on 10. Coming up on 10's Eyewitness News, all the day's top stories, including an anonymous threat to the Queensland Premier. The countdown is on. We check in on the preparations for the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. All the tips and trends for fashionistas from celebrities ahead of the race that stops a nation. And we'll chat with the Herald Sun's fashion editor, Kim Wilson, about exactly what you should wear during the Spring Carnival. Welcome back. In 9 months, Aussie athletes will be celebrating at the closing ceremony of the Glasgow Commonwealth Games. Organisers are hoping to put the Commonwealth Games legacy back on track after the chaotic experience of Delhi. Europe correspondent Ben Lewis has been checking on their progress. Well, still to come on 10 Eyewitness News, we'll check how the share market is performing in early trade. A win for Queensland Police in their fight for greater protection from the state's bikie gangs. Plus, Ready, Aim, Fire. The Aussies taking part in a very unusual game to get rid of Halloween pumpkins. You're with 10 Eyewitness News. The Queensland Police Union has had a major breakthrough this morning in their fight for more powers and safety measures to deal with the crackdown on bikies. Well, Australian-bred horses will have a fight on their hands in tomorrow's Melbourne Cup. Scott Mackinnon's here now with all the details. Save me, Scott.
Oh, mate, there are 19 foreign horses in the field, can you believe it? And this morning we caught up with some of the main contenders. Our racing reporter Roger Aldridge will preview the Melbourne Cup next. Also this morning, Shane Watson has arrived home from India. We'll bring you the latest on his injured hamstring. Another record for Sebastian Vettel at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. How pole sitter Mark Webber fared next. Plus, crossing codes at Kangaroos training. That and all this morning's World Cup results ahead. Good morning. The international raiders are dominating betting markets ahead of tomorrow's $6 million Melbourne Cup. Racing reporter Roger Aldridge spent the morning at the International Quarantine Centre and caught up with some of the key players. Just before I go, some league news. Sacked Raiders coach David Furner. He will be assistant coach at the Cowboys for the next 2 years. Exciting news indeed. Not a bad recruit. Thanks very much, Scott. All right, stay with us on 10. Still to come, we'll check the national weather forecast with Magdalena Roze. And Justin Bieber attempts to hide after a pretty big night out. That's next.
Good morning. It's a cold day across the southeast, which is, of course, good news for firefighters in New South Wales, but it's going to be very short-lived. Southeastern parts of the country are going to see some very warm conditions over the next few days. We'll then see things cooling down on Thursday for Adelaide and Melbourne, and then cooling down across Canberra and Sydney on Friday. But for Perth, it's just going to continue to heat up, with temperatures getting in the high 30s by the end of the week. For Queenslanders today, most of the state is actually going to be dry and sunny. So we're looking at 31 degrees in Cairns and Townsville. Brisbane today, partly cloudy with a high of 27. Through inland areas, not only is it very warm, but it's also quite dry and also very windy. So today we've got a severe fire danger in place, and that's for the northwest, Channel Country and the Maranoa and Warrego districts. New South Wales, dry pretty much everywhere today as well. Much cooler than yesterday thanks to southerly winds. Now, they are very strong along the coastline. We're seeing gusts of around 50 kilometres an hour, and as a result, dangerous conditions out on the waters for boating, rock fishermen and also for surfing. So you might want to stay out until the middle of the week when the winds die down. Sydney itself, 20 degrees, but feeling cooler due to the wind chill, and it's the same case pretty much everywhere. 25 degrees in Dubbo and 22 in Wagga, but feeling colder because of the winds. Now, for Victoria, most of our showers have cleared now, so anything that you can still feel out there is very light, and it's only going to last for the next couple of hours or so. So it's clearing out into the east. Other than that, 15 degrees for Ballarat and 17 for Melbourne, but I promise you it will be warming up tomorrow. Tassie also looking dry today. In South Australia, warm and sunny right across the state with 24 degrees for Adelaide, 25 in Renmark and a high of 32 in Roxbury Downs. We've got a deep trough which has crossed the west. Now, this is delivering showers and thunderstorms to the southwest land division and stretching inland into the goldfields around Kalgoorlie with a hot 37, so very muggy conditions there too. A scorcher for Alice with 37 but dry, and we've got afternoon showers and gusty storms for Darwin with a high of 35. A quick look at your week ahead. Now for Brisbane, tomorrow Melbourne Cup Day, beautiful with 25 degrees, remaining dry and warming up until Saturday when we'll start to see some showers come through. Sydney side is 21 degrees and dry tomorrow for your Melbourne Cup Day, peaking on Thursday with 30 degrees, and then we see a cool change Thursday afternoon with showers Friday, and it looks like scattered showers for both days of the weekend. Canberra also remaining dry and warming up until Thursday, then we'll get that cool change too. Friday showers roll in and a cold 18 degrees. Melbourne Cup looking fantastic around Hobart with 21 degrees there, warming up to 24 on Wednesday, and then we'll see showers and a chilly 16 on Thursday. Adelaide, we've got beautiful weather for your Tuesday, 29 degrees, a hot 33 Wednesday, and then a cool change dropping temperatures down for the rest of the week. For Perth, it's going to remain dry for the entire week and getting scorching hot by the time we head into the weekend and early next week. Temps getting into the 30s and, in fact, 37 on Monday. If you're in Darwin, showers and thunderstorms each and every day with temps of around 34 to 35 degrees. That's all for now. Maddie, I will see you tomorrow bright and early.
Thanks very much, Mags. Well, updating today's top stories, and Queensland Police will be fitted out with special body armour and given permission to take their guns home after major crisis talks in Brisbane this morning. Sydney police are investigating a shooting late last night that left a man with serious injuries. Residents say they heard up to 6 gunshots. And the bushfire threat has eased across New South Wales, with crews welcoming cooler and calmer conditions. Pop sensation Justin Bieber has enjoyed a big night out on the town in Brazil, but didn't want anyone to see his face when he left. Now, there are unconfirmed reports Bieber was trying to sneak out of a brothel. Covered in a sheet, the 19-year-old was seen later with 2 women, and it's rumoured he was then asked to leave the hotel for partying just a little too hard. Well, that's 10 Eyewitness News for now. We'll have updates right throughout the afternoon and, of course, all the day's news at 5 p.m. Thanks very much for joining us.